Your 20s are the weirdest decade of your life. You're expected to make career decisions, figure out relationships, save money, travel, stay healthy, make friends, and somehow know exactly what you're doing. And the truth is, most of us haven't got a clue. I'm 25 years old. I'm not pretending I've got life figured out. I still live with my parents. I work a full time job. I'm trying to build a YouTube channel, save for a house, stay fit, and figure out what I actually want from life. But I also think being 25 gives me a unique perspective. I've made enough mistakes to know what I'll never do again. And if I could go back and talk to my 20-year-old self, these are the things that I'd tell him. Mistake number one, getting the wrong college degree. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I think people make in their 20s is going into college without ever asking themselves why they're actually going. When you're 18 years old, it feels like everyone expects you to have your entire life planned out. Teachers ask what course you're applying for, your friends are talking about universities, your parents are asking what career you want, and before you know it, you're making one of the biggest financial and personal decisions of your life before you even really experienced adulthood. The problem is that many people don't choose a degree because they genuinely want to study it. They choose it because they feel pressured, because all their friends are going to college, or because they think a degree automatically guarantees a good job afterwards. Unfortunately, that's just not true anymore, especially in 2026. A university degree is just an investment, just like buying a house or starting a business. Before investing 4 years of your life into something, you should ask yourself some difficult questions. Will this degree actually help me get the career I want? What kind of salary can I realistically expect after graduating? Will I need another 2 or 3 years of education after this? Could I learn these same skills somewhere else for a fraction of the price? Is this something artificial intelligence could completely change over the next 10 years? Now, I studied creative digital media in Dublin, TUD specifically, and I genuinely am grateful that I did because it introduced me to a lot of great skills: photography, filmmaking, editing, content creation, social media, design, AI. But if I'm being honest, graduating wasn't the moment everything suddenly came together. Most of these skills I use today weren't taught inside a classroom. For me, I spent hundreds of hours teaching myself YouTube editing, thumbnail design, storytelling, audio production, and content creation even before university when I was in secondary school. Those are the things I learned because I wanted to improve, not because they're part of an assignment. College gave me the foundation, but everything after that just came from my own curiosity. That's why I don't think university is the only path anymore. There are people becoming electricians, plumbers, mechanics, software developers, fitness coaches, and business owners who never even stepped foot inside of a university lecture hall. And many of them are earning excellent incomes because they develop skills that people genuinely need. And the biggest lesson I've learned is this: don't choose a college degree because it sounds impressive. Choose something that gives you valuable skills and open doors for your future. Next mistake, living above their means. Now, the second mistake I see all the time is people making their lives far more expensive than they need to be. I think social media has completely changed our expectations of what adulthood should look like. The moment someone gets their first full-time job, it feels like they're expected to upgrade everything: a newer car, the newest iPhone, designer clothes, expensive holidays, luxury apartments, eating out every weekend. And before they know it, almost every euro they earn is already spoken for. The strange thing is, they're earning more money than ever before, yet somehow they feel more stressed than they did as students. That's because every new expense slowly removes a little bit of your freedom. One of the decisions that I've made that some people might judge is continuing to live with my parents while saving money. I'm 25 years old and honestly, I'm not embarrassed. And in today's world, that's pretty much normal. For me, I'd rather save thousands of euros every year towards my future than rush into renting somewhere just because I feel pressured to prove that I'm an adult. There seems to be this idea online that success means looking rich. Now, I completely disagree. I'd much rather have savings, financial security, and peace of mind than a flashy car that's costing me hundreds of euros every single month on finance. Real wealth isn't about looking successful. Real wealth is about having choices. Real wealth is peace of mind. Real wealth is being able to wake up in the morning and not having to worry about a single penny coming out of my bank account. The less money you need to survive, the more freedom you'll have to chase opportunities later in life. Mistake number three, dating just for the heck of it. Now, one lesson that I've really started to understand is that your time is one of the most valuable things that you'll ever own. Now, relationships are no different. I think a lot of people spend years dating someone, even though deep down they already know that the relationship isn't going anywhere. Sometimes people stay because they're comfortable. Sometimes they're scared of being alone. Sometimes they hope the other person will eventually change. But the truth is that time is something you'll never get back. If you're spending years with someone you know you don't see a future with, you're not just wasting your own time. You're also wasting theirs. I think your 20s should be about learning what qualities actually matter in a long time partner. Looks might grab your attention, but character is what builds a life together. Ask yourself questions that really matter. Do they support your goals? Do they bring peace into your life or constant stress? Can you solve problems together? Do you admire them as a person? Because eventually the excitement fades. Life becomes work, bills, responsibilities, and challenges. Character is what remains. And I also think it's important to become comfortable being alone. Some of the biggest personal growth I've experienced happened during periods when I wasn't dating anyone. Being alone teaches you who you are. Loneliness and solitude aren't the same thing. One hurts you and the other helps you grow. Now, moving on to the fourth mistake, and that is not taking enough risks. Now, one of the biggest regrets I think people have when they get older isn't that they failed, it's that they never tried. Your 20s are probably one of the only periods in your life where failure is actually affordable. Most people in their early 20s don't have any children to support, they don't have a mortgage, they don't have 10 people depending on them to pay the bills every month. You have something incredibly valuable that you'll probably never have again: freedom. And yet, so many people spend those years playing it as safely as possible. I understand why. Failure is embarrassing. Starting a business is scary. Uploading your first YouTube video is uncomfortable. Traveling on your own sounds intimidating. Leaving a stable job feels risky. But here's something I've realized over the last few years: confidence doesn't come before taking risks. Confidence comes after surviving them. I know that because I've experienced it myself. A few years ago, I actually started a YouTube channel, a long time ago. I was excited in the beginning. I uploaded videos consistently, spent hours editing them, constantly refreshed my analytics and dreamed about growing an audience. But then after a while, I just completely lost motivation. Every video became stressful because I just wasn't making videos for the right reasons. I was chasing views. I was chasing subs. I was comparing myself to creators who had been doing YouTube for years. And then eventually I quit. Looking back, I don't regret starting that channel. I regret why I started it. This channel feels completely different. I'm making videos because I genuinely enjoy talking about these topics. If the channel grows, that's amazing. If it takes years, that's okay too, because I'm becoming a better storyteller with every upload. Sometimes the biggest risk isn't failing. Sometimes it's never giving yourself the opportunity to succeed. I think traveling also has taught me the same lesson. When I went back to Bosnia, especially during the World Cup, I met family members I hadn't seen in years. I spent time with friends. I experienced a completely different pace of life and then came back with memories I'll remember forever. If I had stayed at home because it felt easier, I would have missed all of that. Your 20s aren't about having all the answers. They're about collecting experiences. Some of those experiences will become your greatest memories. Others will become your greatest lessons. But you'll never know which ones are which if you're too afraid to leave your comfort zone. One quote I've always liked is this: in 10 years, you'll regret the chances you didn't take far more than the ones you did. And I genuinely believe that's true. Which leads me on to my fifth mistake, which is not developing any valuable skills. Now, if there's one thing I wish somebody had told me when I was 20, is this: money comes and money goes. Jobs come and go. Technology changes. Industries change. But skills stay with you forever. The best investment you'll ever make isn't in the stocks, isn't in crypto, isn't in property, but it's in yourself. Because nobody can take that away from you. You can lose your job tomorrow, but nobody can take away your ability to edit videos. Nobody can take away your communication skills. Nobody can take away the confidence speaking in front of people, and nobody can take away your ability to solve problems. Those things stay with you for the rest of your life. When I graduated from university, I realized something. The people who seemed to progress the fastest weren't necessarily the smartest people. They were the people who kept learning after everyone else stopped. They were reading books, learning new software, improving their communication, building businesses, learning another language, going to the gym, networking with people. Every single year, they became slightly more valuable than they were the year before. Those improvements don't seem impressive after 1 week or even 1 month, but after 5 years, they completely change your life. That's exactly how compound interest works. Imagine spending just 1 hour every single day learning a skill. After 1 year, that's over 350 hours. After 5 years, you've invested nearly 2,000 hours into becoming better at something. And that's enough time to become genuinely good at almost anything. If I were 20 years old today, these are the skills I'd focus on learning: public speaking, communication, video editing, writing, AI, sales, negotiation, financial literature, fitness, networking, learning another language, even something as simple as cooking. These are skills that will benefit you no matter what career you choose. One thing I've noticed is that useful people rarely struggle to find opportunities. The more value you can provide to the world, the more opportunities usually come back to you. Don't spend your 20s trying to look successful. Spend your 20s becoming valuable. Because once you become valuable, success often follows naturally. And here's the last and final mistake, and that is having too much fun. Now, before anyone gets the wrong idea, I'm not saying you should never go out. Some of my most favorite memories involved spending time with friends, celebrating birthdays, traveling, and enjoying life. Your 20s should absolutely include fun. But there's a difference between enjoying yourself and making partying your entire personality. I think a lot of people fall into the habit of living for the weekend. Monday is miserable, Tuesday feels slow, Wednesday drags, Thursday you're counting down, and then finally, Friday arrives and then you go out. Saturday you recover, Sunday you spend worrying about work on Monday, then you repeat the same cycle every single week. Eventually, you realize months have gone by and nothing in your life has actually changed. Here's something I asked myself a few years ago. If the only thing I look forward to every week is escaping my life, going out isn't free. It's not just the money you spend on food and then the takeaways, going out with your friends, the taxis home, the poor sleep, the gym session you skip, the productivity you lose, the anxiety some people feel the following morning. There's always a cost. Celebrate your achievements. Go on holidays. Enjoy nights out with your friends. Those memories matter too. But don't let every weekend disappear into the exact same routine. Imagine if you spent just one weekend every month learning a new skill, or visiting somewhere new, or spending time with your family, or building a side business, or creating content. Over 15 years, that's 60 weekends invested into improving your future instead of simply recovering from the night before. Life is all about balance. Have fun, laugh, make memories, but don't let temporary entertainment stop you from building a life you'll actually be proud of. Because eventually, the parties end, the music stops, everyone goes home, and you're still left with the life you built for yourself. And that's why I believe your 20s shouldn't just be about collecting good nights, they should be about building a good life. So, those are 6 mistakes that have either made myself or watched people around me make throughout their 20s. No, I'm not sitting here pretending I've got life completely figured out. I'm only 25. I'm still learning. I'm still making mistakes. I'm still trying to build my career, grow this YouTube channel, save for my future, and become the best version of myself. But I genuinely believe that's what your 20s are for. They're not about having all the answers, they're about making mistakes, learning from them, failing, getting back up, and slowly becoming the person you're meant to be. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this. Don't waste your 20s trying to impress other people. Invest in yourself. Learn valuable skills. Take risks. Travel. Spend time with the family while you still can. Look after your health. Save your money. Choose people who bring peace into your life. And don't be afraid if you feel like you're behind. Trust me, almost everyone in your 20s feels lost at some point. And I think pretty much everyone is. The difference is that some people let that feeling stop them, while others keep moving forward anyway. One small decision today might not seem like much, but over the next 5 or 10 years, those small decisions become the life you end up living. So make choices today that your 30-year-old self will look back on and thank you for. I'd also love to hear from you guys. How old are you? And what's the biggest lesson you've learned so far in your 20s? Or younger. If you're younger than me, what's something you're worried about going into adulthood? Leave them in the comments down below because I genuinely would love to read them all. And I'd love for this channel to become a place where we have real life conversations about life. If you enjoyed this video and found even one piece of advice helpful, I really appreciate it. If you left a like, it helps YouTube recommend the video to more people, and it generally supports a small creator like me. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. My goal with this channel is simple. I want to create the kind of videos that I wish someone had showed me when I was younger. Real conversations about life, growing up, nostalgia, self-improvement, and the challenges of being a young person in today's world, all while watching some classic Call of Duty gameplay. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, I'd love to have you along for the journey. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and remember, your 20s aren't a race. They're the foundation for the rest of your life. Build it wisely. I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care and peace.